Okay, so as we sit in the euphoria and we're basking and say, okay, we're having this thing free delivered to us, we don't know that we are actually paying for this. I want to ask you a question. How free is free? How free is free? I think if anything is offered to you free, you should be very, very, very wary, because I believe fully well that people do not actually offer things free to people without strings attached. So if a person is actually offering something free to you, you should think at it and say, what is the returns on this thing? So why is this person actually offering this thing to me? Now in the EU, there's a law called the Global Data Protection Right. The global data protection right encompasses certain things. Now, the first thing is the right to consent, then the right to access data, the right to change data, the right to complain, the right to portability, and the right to erasure. We will be going through each of these things. Let's go through them. Now, the first thing is the right to consent. Under GDPR, organizations cannot store an EU citizen data unless they give an ambiguous consent. There are exclusions to this. Now, the precise words used in the regulations are freely given, specific, informed, and ambiguous. Now, what that means is, first, no person, no organizations can actually have access to any person who is in the EU, their data, without the person freely giving the data. Then, on that thing again, without it being specific, without it being informed, and if it is unambiguous. Now, then the second thing has to do with the right to access data. Nobody can access your data. Let's read this. This is more complex and far-reaching than the word access implies. First of all, the EU citizen has the right to ask whatever organization is holding and processing inside data, whether they have any interaction with them or not. Having discovered that this is the case, they have the same right as they had volunteered the information. So nobody can access your data anyhow. Then number 3 is the right to complain. So if you feel your data has been compromised by any organization, you can actually complain to the necessary authorities, and they are going to follow this, and they're going to follow this up. I think a few years ago, the EU slammed Google with $2.something billion worth of fine because they breached the data of people. Man, these guys are killing people. You went to a website, you discover that you searched Google for something, and you see that thing is following you around. That is not good. How can you be making money off manipulation? It's not a very, very good one. And I think it's time for people to actually cry out and say, Google, Facebook, you are actually doing things without permission. How can you be stopping people without their permission? Then the other thing again is the right to portability. You can actually request that I want to move my data, and I know how I want to move my data, because without someone actually moving your data. And then the right to erasure. Why? This right to erasure, you cannot have the right to erasure for your data if maybe you committed crime and the data is in the public base. You cannot say erase the data, or no. Then the right to erasure has certain things to do. Maybe if it has to do within the internet, a publication was made on a website, and maybe that publication turned out to be false. You cannot the original creator of that content can actually request all other websites who have made that publication to take down that content from their website and erase that data. Okay, let's go to what ALGEBRAIX wants to do. Now, one of the guys in the team actually published a book called the ALGEBRAIX Data, a foundation for the data economy. I think you should look at this paper because it was co-authored by 2 PhD dudes, and one of them, I believe, what's his name, Robert Blow, is part of the team. Let's see what this team wants to do. What they want to do, they want to construct a digital vault where you store your data and you can give permission. You can be the one who says, well, this is what I want to give to the public, this is what I don't want to give to the public. So you have authority, you have the legal authority over your personal data. And when you're giving out this data, you can actually negotiate how much you want this data to be given out, how much data can be given out, and you can also negotiate the terms of use for that data. So, and not only that, they also make a system where you can actually use these tokens to actually pay for transactions, and they will also create a cryptocurrency wallet. And as you can see from the screen, it's called I own my data. Well, you might be saying, if some other persons have not been in the space, well, there are some guys who are in the space like SafeKey, Civic, and I think competition will allow things to actually. Competition is the main aim of business. If there is competition in the business, people will actually do a lot of things. Now, they talked about the cost of attention. Let's see that. The cost of attention. Attention is money. I want you to know that. And if attention is money, no wonder these companies are actually doing a lot of things to get attention. But the way they are going about it is totally out of place. That is my main concern. The way they are going about it is totally out of place. So they want to build a data vault where you can actually be the one who have the key to that thing. So the blockchain is here to stay. The blockchain will disrupt many spaces. What you should be thinking of is, how can the blockchain revolutionize your business? How can you benefit from the blockchain? How can you benefit from the blockchain? You should be thinking of these stuff. How can you benefit from the blockchain? So if you've not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, share these videos with other people, and comment. Do have a very good day.